Hello, this is Originalink bringing you Should You Watch Black Clover the Anime, and I am not at all afraid to make comparisons in this video. Bar none, one of my favorite parts about this anime so far is the glow tech, which is why it will be playing in the background during my synopsis. The main character, Asta's motivations and goals are very similar to Naruto's. Where Naruto just wants to become the Hokage, Asta just wants to become the Sorcerer Emperor. The world building is very much like Fairy Tail, as far as being a magic world goes. And the group of magic knights Asta falls in with reminds me of the Fairy Tail guild members, a bunch of misfits. The magic knights are structured very much like the 13 court guard squads in Bleach. As far as comparisons with My Hero Academia goes, I disagree. The idea is that Midoriya or Deku is quirkless, where Asta is magicless. The difference here is that Midoriya is only quirkless for like 2.5 episodes, where Asta has no magic the entire series. It is awesome to see how Asta encourages the other characters around him to become so much stronger. There's a character named Yami whose catchphrase is surpass your limitations, but Asta pushes the other characters towards this even harder. On the less cherry side of things, Asta comes in the story with huge disadvantages. Having both no magic and hailing from an orphanage on the outskirts of the kingdom sets him up to be heavily discriminated against. In spite of this though, it is amazing how quickly people come to accept him. It is based upon his achievements, and the way this unfolds doesn't feel cliche or forced. As the series progresses, he actually encourages other characters to have rivalries. Female characters tend to fall into the typical archetypes. There is a tsundere and a dandere as possible romantic interest. At one point, there is actually 3 love interests in the story, and you think it's going to become an ecchi harem, but it doesn't. I enjoy the interactions between the tsundere character and Asta. She's in the anime a lot, and you may start to feel close to her and even care about the character. Plus, she has a jealous streak adding to the humor. There is another female character who's not really a love interest. Her personality is not one of the typical archetypes, as she is very laid back. However, she is the reason there is no best waifu discussion, because she is the one who really brings it in the looks department. Let's talk about villains, shall we? Because Black Clover has some pros and cons in regards to villains. The major con is by far my biggest complaint about the series. There is no iconic villain. There is one villain that comes close. I just don't feel that this anime has a strong antagonist that really brings it. However, Black Clover does do villains a little differently. A lot is showing there is a bad guy who once defeated turns good, or at least ends up helping the good guys. This still happens in Black Clover, but it's not as bad because it's written in as part of the plot. There is an actual explanation for why evil turns good, where in other anime is more like a change of heart. All too common in shonen, the main villain is replaced by a team of villains at the same level of power. Occasionally the team of villains are assigned numbers as a strength rank. Black Clover brings in one main villain and then replaces him with only 3 villains. I just want to take a minute to talk about some interesting character archetypes found in other anime which are not present in Black Clover. There are no anti-heroes in Black Clover. There are a few Magic Knight captains who you're like, what are they up to? But there are no anti-heroes, which are my favorite characters. I wouldn't say there are any deeply damaged characters in Black Clover either. There is one Magic Knight captain who's likely damaged, however I don't really feel it come through in his actions. This is a shame really, because this usually leads to some interesting character motivations. No idealist characters either. In a world with a class system and discrimination based on magical ability, you would think there would be more idealists to stand up and outrage, but nah. How the magic works in Black Clover is the typical shonen elemental-based system. There are some uncommon forms of magic mixed in as well, and some forms of magic have weaknesses to others. There is not an overly complicated power system in Black Clover. There are the aforementioned weaknesses, but they are not complicated enough to put into a diagram as we see in Naruto or Hunter x Hunter. Where it is good that the mangaka Tobata is getting away from the inspirational material, this does remove a level of complexity from the battles. Black Clover doesn't have many problems with power scaling. Power scales are set by Magic Knight rank, and it is established that Asta's order of Magic Knights are more powerful than they are ranked. So, there are a few types of magic that are said to be moderately more powerful. However, where this helps with the power scaling issues, it hurts with building hype. There are still powers we are aware of, and I am hyped to see. Just not as much hype as with other shonens. I am still hyped for the demons though. From the very first episode, you are going to see this coming. The beast within within trope. Some examples of this: the nine-tailed fox still within Naruto, Ichigo Kurosaki's hollow side, Yusuke Urameshi's Mazaku form, Raizen possession. Asta is done differently though. From the get-go, it's set up that Asta is in the driver's seat. So far in the source material, we haven't seen the Berserker mode side of the Beast Within trope. So here is a major con of Black Clover. This is another one of those shonens that is afraid to kill its characters. At the very least though, we do get to see some strong, good aligned characters who step up just to be swatted down. I like how Asta doesn't always win battles just by becoming stronger mid-battle. I mean, it happens sometimes, but just as often battles are won as a result of teamwork. I know it kinda reeks of the whole power of friendship thing, but I promise it's not too gaudy. There will be a training arc in Black Clover, but it will be very brief. It'll only run a few episodes. I hope this video has helped you decide if this was the right anime for you. This is Originalink. Like and subscribe for more Black Clover content, and until next time, surpass your limitations.